On May 6, 2025, I'll be headed out for the longest trip I have ever taken. I started bike touring in 2011 with my oldest son on Goba, the Great Ohio Bicycle Adventure. For a week, we would ride our bikes from town to town on a designated route with 1,000 other riders and then grab our camping gear off of a truck. Wake up the next morning and do it all over again. In 2018, we decided to move from touring to bikepacking and venture off on our own and rode the Gap and C&O Trail that runs from Pittsburgh to DC. We really enjoyed the route and spent a decent amount of time on the trip talking about what we were going to do the next year. In 2019, we rode the Ohio to Erie Trail and planned for the Katy in 2020. Somewhere in the middle of all this riding, my mind started to think, what would it take? What would it be like? When would I be able to cross the country on a bike? Our 2020 trip was derailed by COVID, but we would not stay home. We changed plans quickly, and over a week's time, we rode from our home in Granville, Ohio, along the Muskingum River into Parkersburg, West Virginia, and onto the North Bend Rail Trail, retracing our route to return home. We started to challenge ourselves each year. In 2021, we added an 8th day to our trip and rode the Erie Canal Trail from Buffalo across the top of New York State and added the recently opened Empire State Trail from Albany to New York City. In 2022, with a few additional days, we started in Cleveland and rode around Lake Erie, touching Lake Ontario and Lake Huron, the furthest we had ever ridden on one trip, 702 miles in 11 days. We finally made it to the Katy Trail in the late fall of 23, of course extending the route by adding a couple of trails to get out of St. Louis and the Rock Island Trail leading us to Kansas City, making our way across the entire state. In 24, we were challenged by a route we saw on YouTube called the Pants Route, riding 372 miles from the border of New York and Pennsylvania to Maryland. Our hilliest ride we'd ever done, climbing 17,200 feet over the week, incorporating two 60-mile-long rail trails, gravel, and paved roads. The hills were long and punchy, but I had done something I didn't think I would ever be able to do. I knew to accomplish my dream, the time had to be soon. In 2025, I've decided to seize the day. Well, the entire summer, really. I'm not getting any younger, and in 2024, I felt the strongest I have ever felt on a bike. After 2 years of planning a route, talking to people who've successfully crossed the country, studying maps, reviewing routes through Adventure Cycling Association, looking at Google Street View for countless number of hours, I'm going to ride across the country. Starting in San Francisco in early May, I'll work my way east using 3 separate adventure cycling routes connected by my own developed routes, visiting a number of incredible, iconic places on my bike.